just me and him, alone, in his dorm. No. Wait. Hello, friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up if you want. See, that's the ReddX intro if I smoke 3 packs a day. Feel lucky that ain't the case. Today we're jumping into r/NiceGuyStories. Oh, we did Nice Girls yesterday. What a nice time we had. And now it's time to execute some gender equality as we shove some more nice guys into this. The next actual meme video that I do, image post video, is going to be nice guys versus nice girls. So I guess this is just to prep for that. I am quite looking forward to it. We'll have to see how it goes. But first we'll get through this one. And yes, it is a text post, which I think people enjoy most on this channel because it's like you can just kick back, read it. I can upload it as a podcast, etc., etc. Speaking of which, check out those podcast services. Also, speaking of which, we're also live streaming this on Twitch. That link down in the description if you would like to join us over there at some point. I would appreciate it a whole heck of a lot. Let's go ahead. We'll get some more plugs and disclaimers out of the way. And then we will dive right into some of this r/NiceGuyStories cringe. Nice guy lies about group study session. Oh, you already, just from the title, you know he's just trying to lure her over to his house. Oh yeah, everybody's gonna be here. And she shows up and dude is like, well, I guess nobody else showed up. It's just you and me. Want to drink some vodka?
2 shots of vodka.
Wow, this is the creepiest date I've ever incidentally been on. Just paints a whole picture in my head just from the title, and that's beautiful. So thank you, Looking Cool Karu, Karu. How you say that? Close enough. I've kept this story to myself for the longest, with only my friend knowing what happened. Oh God, I hope it doesn't get too dark. But now I have just said fuck it and decided to make this post. Well, good for you. You know, embracing passive indifference is the way to true happiness in life. I'm pretty sure about that. Now, probably like most on here, I don't really know if this guy was a nice guy, but I got the vibe that he was. I can almost 100% just from the title guarantee his nice guy status. Sorry if this is written like shit, because it was a long time ago. Look for the multiple asterisks to where the title finally gets mentioned. Oh, we're gonna get one of those they finally said it moments, just like a Family Guy. Be like, oh, this isn't the Fast and the Furious, this is Too Fast, Too Furious. Oh, he said it!
I don't have friends. I got family.
TLDR, Nice Guy invited me to a group study session in his dorm room, leading to him giving me a therapy session on why I should be straight. Oh, that's not quite what I thought it was. Also, TLDR is supposed to go at the end, but I'm kind of glad it's up front. This is what we can brace ourselves for. There was only about 5% studying and like 95% me watching his shitty YouTube videos. That's always how it be whenever anybody comes over to my house too. They're like, can we put the TV on and watch a movie? I'm like, how about we watch some ReddX content? And they're like, didn't you record this? And I'm like, yeah, but it's pretty good though, right? This is worth a rewatch, right? None of that's true. I don't have people over to my house. So now for a little bit of background info. It was my freshman year of college, second semester, and I, 18 female at the time, was getting all of my general education classes finished. Me and this nice guy, who we'll call Markus. Markus? Okay. You get to name him. I had no hand in this. We had the same math class together, so in the beginning I had no interaction with Markus until the week before spring break. Our professor kept mentioning how during the week we had to have class on Friday, so don't think about missing class just because of spring break. So of course, me, the dumb fuck who was shit at math, didn't want to miss a single class, and like usual, came in early to a dead building with barely anyone there, of course. And here is where it all began. Yeah, who's gonna listen to the professor, bro? You have to come in, ignore spring break. Nah, I don't think so. We don't get many spring breaks in our lives. Why am I gonna skip out on that to go to math class? Eat a dick! I think everybody else had the right idea. OP, well, in theory you made the right decision on paper, but it's going to have some unforeseen repercussions. I can tell you that much. So, Markus came in, and we greeted each other since we were the only two in the class at the moment. Nerds! To describe him, Markus was a mixed guy, very average in the face, would always wear a trench coat, and instead of using a backpack, he literally would use a suitcase. We are bleeding over into neckbeard territory so fast. I bet he thinks he's like looking super dapper. He's like, look at my trench coat and suitcase. The ladies are gonna fawn all over this. Oh, Markus, please stop. Everything was quiet until he started talking to me with the usual chatting about class and how annoying the quizzes were, etc., until he asked me what I do as a hobby. No, he's trying to make a connection. Shut this down. Tell him you don't have a hobby. I sit home and stare at the wall for hours on end. I have no personality. Please leave me alone. I'm not interesting. Unless you want to talk about drywall, I got nothing to say to you. Because you know this dude don't know nothing about drywall, right? Boy ain't never hung some sheetrock in his life. I mentioned listening to music, like everybody does, doing art, like super talented people do, and what probably got him excited, playing video games. You should have stopped at the first two. I don't know why you felt the need to carry on. This is not good. You can tell just by looking at him that he's gonna flip his shit. A girl who plays video games, boy. Markus, no. We then talked about video games, like consoles and shit, and I thought that it was cool, thinking that I made a college friend. Oh, P, my sweet summer child. You can tell a lot about a book by its cover, as I've come to find out. Markus, he might have been a legitimately cool guy that just happened to carry a briefcase and wear a trench coat, but doing those things would give me a very large oddball alert, and I would approach him with a lot of trepidation. He asked me what my hobbies are. I'm like, I'm not going to talk about that. You prove to me that you're not weird before I start opening up to you. How about that? Flip the conversation around. Ask him about himself. And then you find out if he's truly worth getting to know. But I guess maybe these are all things that you learn when you're older. In college, yeah, I was pretty desperate to reach out to some people. My quote-unquote best friend in math class is the guy that sold me acid the first, few times that I did it. He was an oddball, but he turned out to be pretty cool. Until you get past the oddball alert, as far as you're concerned, my hobbies are watching paint dry and watching grass grow. Oh, God. I don't want it. It's already giving me creepy vibes. So we continued talking until more people started coming in. And of course, we received an email that the professor canceled class. What a what a dickhead, dude. That's so funny. Don't you dare skip class for spring break. Actually, class is canceled. Haha, bing bong, fuck your life. God damn, that is hilarious. The professor, automatically most likable dude in the story. He's just fucking with all the students on purpose. Jesus. We walked out together since we lived in the dorms that were right next to each other as I listened to him talk about video games. Yes, video games are my whole personality. Wow, that's great. Please don't talk to me anymore. We parted ways after exchanging contacts, another mistake, and we said how we should play Cuphead together one day. Oh, God. Are you guys ready for Cuphead? It is easier with 2 players, I think. But yeah, that's the type of game that's really gonna test your newly formed friendship. It was only when spring break was over, and that is when everything sort of just fell to shit. So you guys had a lovely spring break together. I guess that's nice. You know, you got a college friend and stuff. Things apparently didn't get too weird yet. But the yet part is what scares me. Coming back from spring break, I started sitting with Markus at the lounge area outside of our class. Like usual, we would talk about video games, but a trend started that I dreaded every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. He would just never let me talk at all. Maybe you should talk to him about it. Oh, wait, you can't even talk to him about it because he just keeps going. He would go on and on and on and on about video games, and whenever I tried to give my input into the conversation, he would just cut me off and continue talking. That does sound annoying as shit. This friendship is not gonna last very long. Did you not notice that he was doing this during spring break? Is this like a recent development since he came back to school? And if it is a recent development, what brought this on? I've got a lot of questions. He wasn't even talking to me anymore. It was like he was talking at me, which we've seen a whole heck of a lot. I'm very introverted, so it's usual for me to just listen to people talk, but there is a limit when I'm now just coming to class early only in order to hear you endlessly talk. And this went on for days. I mean, send him a text message or something. This kind of loops back into the Pizza Hut beard stuff. People setting aside their own humanity in order to placate people who don't really deserve it at the end of the day. You know, how are you gonna ride in the back seat of your own life? I don't want to listen to you talk. Guess what? I ain't gonna listen to you talk. Fuck out of here. Stop showing up early to class. He texts you like, where are you? You're just like, I don't want to show up and just hear you talk about stupid video games, all right? Maybe that's a reality check. Maybe some people say you're a little harsh, but I see it as a much needed reality check. There are like 2 scenarios before the event mentioned in the title that made me uncomfortable, but my dumbass didn't get the signs that he was blatantly giving me. I just wanted a friend. Shaking my head. I mean, you got a friend, it just wasn't the friend that you were looking for. So now it's time to end the friendship, am I right? It's over, we tried. It's not working out. It's not just for relationships anymore. Break up with your friends, who cares? Just because they were in your life for a second doesn't mean they have to be there forever. Goodbye! Goodbye, everybody! So the first scenario was when we were walking back to our dorms after meeting up at the cafeteria. We were just talking until Markus asked me if I had a boyfriend because he didn't want no misunderstanding. You already know what he's after, if the question even has to come up, right? I told him that he didn't have to worry since I didn't have a boyfriend, and also I was gay. He replied back with, Oh, I should have known with that haircut. Oh, Markus, you coming at a woman's haircut? Don't do it. Unless you're like trying to make an enemy, trying to cut him real deep. The hair conversation, that's not a conversation you want to have, friend. He pointed at my pixie cute cut. Yeah, so original. I just laughed it off. Ooh, you probably shouldn't laugh it off either. It's gonna be a much less awkward conversation if you address it like immediately, right? The conversation soon started talking about my weight for some reason, where I mentioned that I was 135 pounds. He then was like, where does all that weight go? Oh, there it is. Now pointing at my ass and thighs. Jesus Christ. Don't tell me you laughed this one off too. This is like war. He's initiating war, trying to neg you into a relationship. Either way, it's not going to turn out well. This friendship is over. Thank you so much for the spring break that we had, where I guess none of this was going on, but you're obviously overstepping your bounds at this point. It's time to go. I don't know why I didn't stop hanging out with this motherfucker, because that was really goddamn cringy. Like usual, I tried to laugh it off and continued walking to the dorms with him. Stop laughing it off. Stop. There's no reason to. You can be upset about things. You can address a situation that makes you uncomfortable. Laughter is great. I depend on laughter a whole hell of a lot to get through stories like this. But the truth is, in real life, if somebody says some shit like that to me, you're gonna hear about it. We are going to have words over it. You know, might start with a laugh while I formulate a plan of attack. I'll be like, heh, but really that was fucked up though, and I don't think we should be friends anymore. And then he's like, ooh, no, why? And I'm like, no. Why? Why should we be friends? I'm checking out. It's over. I don't owe you a goddamn thing. Ugh, Jesus. The second scenario was around the time when the whole iDubbbz and Keemstar N-word thing was going on. Oh, what's that? A little bit of internet drama? Super interesting. Please tell me more. No, don't. I don't know what you're talking about for a reason, and I don't care to fill up my brain with a non-debate like that. Thank you very much. When we were walking together to take our math quiz, which we had to go to a separate building in order to take it, I don't know why we just couldn't do it in our own, like in your own dorm room or in the original math building. Because if it's in the original math building, maybe the other building is where the proctors are. And if it's in your dorm room, obviously you can't do that because you might cheat. It's a quiz. You can't cheat on the quiz. Whatever. Non-issue as far as I'm concerned. Again, me being a black person and him being half black, I asked him his thoughts on the situation. Now, to be clear, that's the iDubbbz Keemstar situation, not the math quiz situation. Written a little bit confusing there. Now, I wish that he had just replied with a simple, I think that shit's fucked up. I don't think white people should ever say that word ever. But no. Please, believe me on this. He decided he wanted to impress me by going off about how this one time in high school where they were talking about slavery in class, and this one kid was like, I don't think slavery was that bad. And so Markus supposedly got up in the middle of class and told him, well, what if I took your whole family away from their home and brutally beat them and forced them to work for me for the rest of their life and the next generations onward, and then telling me to my face that everyone in the class clapped and security was called on that white kid. You getting some r/that happened posts in real life? That's beautiful. Also has absolutely nothing to do with the question that was asked. Is this word bad versus is slavery bad? I suppose some people could have two different answers to the question. I think they're both bad. I think most people would agree with that, but I don't know. Why is this even a debate? Have you guys run out of video games to talk about or something? This is dumb as hell. To this day, I pray that he was joking, because there is no way he seriously thought saying that everyone clapped somehow made him a badass. He never said, "Just kidding, nobody clapped." But I honestly wish that he did. I mean, you never called him out on it, so he's like, "Hey, she believes me." Oh my god, bro. This is about the cringiest thing ever. You want a little bit of r/that happened in your nice guy story? Oh, make sure to mix it well. Goes down smooth every time. Even if everybody clapped wasn't included in the story, you can still pretty much tell that the story is complete bullshit, right? It's the everybody clapped part that really sends it over the top. Oh, honestly, I wouldn't be hanging out with this dude at all ever. But this is just like the clincher, you know what I mean? Now you're lying to basically the only person that has agreed to be your friend. Why? Why? You obviously ain't gotta lie to kick it. We were hanging out before this fake ass story popped up. Just stop it, dude. Get some help.
Stop it. Get some help.
As the semester was getting closer to ending, there was one more of those fucking quizzes in the separate building that we had to take. And everyone was stressing out over it, me included. So when Markus came up to me mentioning something about a study group to help us out, I of course agreed to it. Oh yeah, study group, just like in that show Community. You ever see that? So Markus wanted to gather a group of people who took the class seriously to help each other out. You're going to let him handpick the study group? What could possibly go wrong? Oh man, I got a sinking feeling. I got excited because Markus was friends with the smartest guy in the class, who literally always did well on the exams, and plus I needed all the help that I could get when it came to math, trying to stay on the dean's list. Oh, so you're like one of the smart people that's just like, oh, I'm failing the class if I don't get an A. I did actually flunk out of like basic algebra, okay? I'm legitimately bad at math. You gotta step your bad math game up, OP. So Markus told me that he wanted to have a group study session in his dorm room. I don't remember the specific weekday, and I agreed to it. Yeah, it's a group study session. What could possibly go wrong? Oh wait, remember the title? Everything could go wrong. Don't do it, OP! Run!
Run, bitch! Run!
Now, being a 23-year-old, looking back, the red flags were flying high as hell, having a group study session in his dorm room when the library is only a fucking walk away with rooms specifically made for group sessions. Yeah, maybe he just wanted to play some super cool video games afterwards or something like that. But yeah, at 18, I guess things aren't quite as clear. At 23, things are clearer, but still, you're not functioning at maximum capacity. At least I wasn't. Probably because I was like just out of the Navy and drinking a whole lot. I don't know. Trying to put myself in your shoes, I definitely would have fallen for it at 18. I probably would have fallen for it at 23. Generally, I tend to take people at their word. I don't second guess a whole lot of stuff. At least I did a lot less back then. But little 18-year-old me was blinded by the thought of being in a group study session, helping each other. Yeah, that sounds so good on paper. I grabbed my notebook, laptop, and some food since I hadn't eaten at all that day. Jesus, take care of yourself. What's up with this? Even if it's some ramen noodles for breakfast, you just pull it out of the package, dump a little powder on it, and crunch it up in your mouth. That's good. You gotta keep some of them calories flowing. So I meet up with Markus outside of his dorm, and he signs me in. Nobody else in sight for this group study session. Just me and him, alone, in his dorm.
No. Wait.
Yeah, it's about time to call that shit out. Even walking into the lobby, you're like, where's everybody else? You're out here waiting for me specifically? Seems a little bit sus. Actually, I forgot. I gotta go feed my fish, or buy a fish and then feed it, or light my cat on fire. Anything but this. I wish I said something about it, since he kept saying that we'd study as a group, but I ended up not saying anything. OP, come on. You're victimizing yourself by avoiding a tough conversation. Like I told Pizza Hut Beards OP yesterday, one tough conversation can save you thousands of extremely more awkward conversations. You know what I mean? It's best to just nip this in the bud. Be like, so the whole group study thing was just bullshit, right? just be as blunt as possible. I find that it works more often than not. And if you're scared to do that while you're alone in the room, yeah, find an excuse to leave. Bring it up later in public. It's definitely not worth the pain to continue being friends with this guy. Ugh. So it started out normal, getting all our stuff set up. We were just studying, doing some homework while he played his music, until I would say like 5 minutes later, and he wanted to take a break and watch some YouTube videos. This boy got no fucking fire in his belly. 5 minutes later, he's bellyache. Oh, let's take a break. Oh, let's watch some videos. Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you here to study or not? I'd be more productive if I study on my own. Goodbye. That's the line. Go ahead, say it. Try it out. It's good for you. I was honestly getting into the groove, and I was having fun, since I was finally understanding how to do the problems. But, nope. Markus wanted me to watch some shitty YouTube videos, so he had to pull my laptop away from me. You just manhandled my laptop. You don't touch my laptop. You want to watch shitty YouTube videos? You go right ahead, but you do not interrupt me. I am here to study. Some people might call it Karen status, whatever, but you know why people don't like Karens? Because they get their way. Sometimes it is time to be a Karen. I will be the first to admit that to you right now. I had a feeling this was going to be a shit show because I had no intention of just hanging out with him. If he told me that he just wanted to hang out and study a little, then okay, that would be fine. But you already lied about setting up a group. He never mentioned anything about a group during and after this whole thing happening. Yeah, so he knew he was full of shit. And by you not calling him out, you've just enabled it. You're like, yes, it's okay if you lie to me. And you should value yourself more than that. I hope at 23 you do value yourself more than that, OP. That's a really shitty situation to get put into, but if it happens, then you need to push your way back out of it and be like, no, I'm not gonna sit here for this. This is not okay. I get it, you're young, it's awkward, but if you don't start pushing back now, then the world is gonna keep pushing you around until you start pushing back. Sad, but true. That's just how it is. And so yeah, now you're beginning to lie about the studying part of this study group. Lied about the group part, lied about the study part. I turned the other cheek and played along with him. Oh, God. Oh. OP, please. I hope that the whole thing's not just like this, where she's like, yeah, I let him do basically whatever he want and went along with it every single time. Because that's when it starts to turn and I'm like, yes, he's a bad person, but you're letting him get away with it. He can't keep getting away with it.
He can't keep getting away with it.
No offense to people that like these type of videos, but he was showing mostly screw attack videos. One being the Sephiroth versus Sub-Zero or Scorpion, I don't remember. and a bunch of other shit that was just not that interesting. Bro, I love death battles. Are you kidding me? I think they're really stupid. But it's kind of one of those like popcorn videos. You just throw it on, you're like, oh, let's learn some bullshit that doesn't actually matter about Thanatos versus whoever else. I have been guilty of binging those every once in a while. And yes, I have been known to make some content that some might consider not that interesting. But hey, the people that like it really like it. And I make it for them. I remember while watching his videos, I was eating my burger and fries, but after a while, I stopped eating to watch the videos. He had the audacity to grab the whole burger without asking and just take a bite. Damn, boy. Damn, boy. He's thick, boy. That's a thick-ass boy.
Damn, boy, he's thick. Boy, that's a thick-ass boy!
First you're manhandling the laptop, and now you are stealing my food while I'm watching. No, that's not okay. This sort of behavior is not even okay after, like, years of marriage, all right? The thing that wifey does, right? She puts her hand on my food and then looks at me and says, "Can I have a bite?" Like, she's already halfway there. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. But she does always ask, without fail. She'll grab it, but she asks as she's grabbing it. And I give her a pass on that. If she just grabbed it, took a big old bite out of nowhere, I would legitimately be like, what's the deal with that? I was eating that, if you weren't privy to that fact. Ugh. Are you really gonna make me eat this burger with a knife and a fork? And I'm not even using the knife and the fork for the burger. I'm using it to stab fingers that end up on my plate. You wanna come over here? All right. You risk the consequences then. Yes, I will fight about a fucking burger. I paid good money for that, especially as a college student. You ain't got that money to start with. Ugh. I remember being genuinely angry because I hate people who do that shit with a passion. He would also continue to poke me for some reason. Okay, pause. OP, did you say something about the burger? Or did you just sit there and fucking seethe while he finished the entire thing? Because I know where my money's at, and that is absolutely pathetic. Come on, grow that shiny spine. Get some spikes on you. I understand you want to be the friend and da-da-da-da-da, but he's not acting like a friend right now. He's stealing your shit and lying to you. I can't be a part of any of this, all right? Being tired of watching his videos, I slid his keyboard over to me, looking up the Monster Factory Fallout 4 playthrough. I was addicted to their content at the time. I remember him saying some shit like, I never let anyone touch my keyboard. See? Even he knows how to call out stuff that he's uncomfortable with. Or maybe he's trying to make it like a sensual thing. He's like, only you get to touch the keyboard, m'lady. Oh yes, this greasy cheese-covered keyboard. What a fucking treat. Thank you so much. Not even getting past the creation of Final Pam, he took the keyboard and changed to something else. Can't even watch what you want to watch. And again, OP's just gonna sit here and seethe. To start, I'll feel bad for you, but if you're just laying down, enduring it for no reason whatsoever, how long can you feel bad for somebody that continues to punch themselves in the face? Oh, the first few times, that's so sad. The 8th time, I'm like, why do you continue to do this? During all of this, his mom FaceTimed him, and he had to show that I was in the room, even though I was trying my best to stay away from the camera. Bob, look, a real girl's in my room. She's like cowering in the corner. Please, I just want to go home. That is hilarious. Also really, really sad. His mom was legitimately shocked that he actually had a girl in his room. I immediately shut down any sort of girlfriend shit that might have gone down. Well, there you go, OP. Your first time standing up for yourself, and I hope it feels good. I hope this is the start of something beautiful. I don't remember the last video that we watched, but I remember seeing a trash can on screen, and with my peak comedy, said, "Tag yourself, I'm the trash can." Terrible, I know. I used to watch Shane Dawson. Maybe I am too old for these videos now. What the fuck are you talking about? However, he suddenly got weirdly serious, telling me that I shouldn't say that to myself, and that I was beautiful. Oh yes, white knight all the way. The whole situation went from a group study session to me being forced to watch his videos to now a therapy session where he analyzes me. You can check out at any point. The door is right there. You don't even need a reason, honestly. You don't want to be his friend anymore, so why not just walk out? Fuck the social contract. I'm gone. This whole thing is over. Have a nice life, or don't. I don't care. It was just basic stuff that I already knew about, like my low self-esteem and some other shit. But to him, he felt like he was cracking some sort of secret code about my character. Or one of his general education, like basic classes, Psych 101. Because this is always what happens when somebody takes Psych 101. They'll try to analyze people around them. Realizing that psychology, basically, it's all wiffle waffle. It changes from year to year. Take your bubblegum armchair psychology, shove it up your ass, because it's generally not applicable to a significant portion of any population. He also started sitting in some weird position, the American figure 4 seating position. Ah, yes, the American figure 4 seating position. Absolute peak of Psychology 101. He also started waving his index finger with every syllable. Make him stop. Say something. Why are you letting him do this? I felt really uncomfortable with the mood shift from watching funny videos to "let me read you with my 300 IQ brain." He would say some stuff like, "Usually when I meet people, I know everything about them. But you, OP, you're different." Oh, classic line. "You're not like other girls, OP. You like eating food and breathing air." Dude, what the hell are you on about? He continues talking some bullshit till he got to the part where suddenly, for some reason, he said that he didn't think that I should be gay. Yeah, thanks for your input, doctor, but go fuck yourself. It doesn't matter what you think I should be. There's people out there that don't think I should be a YouTuber, but you know what? I am. So chew on that. His reasoning is because the lesbian couple that he is supposedly friends with don't work out. They always fight. He feels as though some opposites attract bullshit applies when it comes to men and women being together. What are you talking about, bro? Yeah, okay, opposites do attract. Me and my wife, we are extremely different people, okay? At least if you look outwardly. But on the inside, yeah, we are much the same. We have a lot of the same mindset. We just execute our lives differently. She is very organized and clean and curious, whereas I am oblivious and messy and disorganized. I have a very carefree attitude, whereas she is deeply invested in basically everything that happens. She's got like some of her friends fighting and she's like, "Oh no, how can I fix this for them?" And I'm over here like, why do you even give a shit? Not my circus, not my monkeys, as far as I'm concerned. But those differences, yeah, that's why I love her. She can teach me to be a better person, to actually open myself up and at least try to care about some things. So yes, opposites do attract, but did you know that even within the same gender, there can be opposites? Wow. So maybe don't try and change somebody's sexual orientation, right? Are we all on the same page? Markus ain't never gonna watch this. If he finds it, he's gonna be too uncomfortable. He won't even get to the end. Or, alternatively, he might be so oblivious, not realize it's talking about him at all, and he'd be like, hey, yeah, that guy's really cringe. It's you, you fool! You did this! Confused, I asked him how it's possible that gay men work out together. He replied with, I don't know. They talk about sports or something. Yeah. Guys talk about sports. That's how gay men exist. What do girls talk about? I don't know. Stereotypically girl shit by your logic. What do you mean? I'm glad this part of the post was saved for last because it's definitely the part that enrages me the most. Fucking wannabe psychologist over here. But anyways, he thought that I should try out being with guys before I try to be gay and make sure that I knew that he wasn't interested in me in any way. Even though he is trying to make me like dick instead of being with a woman. I guess it was just out of the goodness of his heart to convert me. Oh my God, bro. This is really the hill you want to die on? He's like, maybe you should just try dick out. Oh, wow, look, I have one right here. What a coinky dink. I know what you're doing, dude, and it's never gonna work. I'm pretty sure OP made it to college knowing 100% for sure that she likes girls. Why else would you risk the social ostracization that comes with homosexuality, right? If somebody say that they're a thing, how hard is it to just believe them? How hard is it to just be friends with somebody without any other expectation behind it? This guy, definite nice guy status, also bleeding over into neckbeard status. That is my final diagnosis. Wait, I gotta get my feet into the figure 4 sitting position before I give out my diagnosis. Maybe chew on the nub of my pencil and say, interesting. How does that make you feel? Please continue. The last thing I found weird that he did in his room was during the end of the therapy session. I like how we've just taken to calling it a therapy session. That's essentially what it is. He started talking about how introverts like ourselves have our own comfort space that we don't want people to invade. Like his bed. Why are you dragging your bed into the conversation? He didn't like people in his personal comfort zone. I replied, confused on how we even got here, with a simple, okay. It is quite a non sequitur. It's jarring even for me as a reader. And I found a way to say politely that I wanted to get the fuck out of this room and away from him. You should have done that so long ago. Don't even say a word. Just pick up your shit and walk out the door. Block him on everything. If he tries to talk to you in the halls, ignore him completely. You've been blocked IRL. After years of repeating this entire situation in my head, I have a theory that Markus was trying to make a move on me. Well, no shit. He was trying to get me to do the opposite of what he said for me to get onto his bed. What? He learned about reverse psychology. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try that one out. He's like, don't get in my personal space. Don't get on my bed. I would totally hate that. And OP's like, okay, I won't. I'm just gonna go home. Psych 101, you failed me! I feel as though he thought I would try and be an asshole and get on his bed and, like in some porn, ask, what you gonna do about it? Or some cringy shit. And then he'd try and get on top of me. It might be far-fetched, but I'm still confused to this day on why he suddenly started talking about his bed. I don't think you're far off the mark here, OP. He definitely had some duplicitous plan, and I wish that you would have pulled the plug on this one a lot sooner. I'm surprised you didn't end up chained up in a basement somewhere. This could have turned out a lot worse than it did. Luckily, you were able to get yourself out of the situation, and I guess he didn't try to pursue it any further. He took a fucking hint, and that in itself is a miracle. As I gathered my stuff and waited for the elevator, wanting to quickly go to my room and take a shower, I was looking at a picture in the hallway that reminded me of this game, Little Nightmare, which is pretty decent. I suddenly remembered that I was in my own Little Nightmare as he, unprovoked, started patting my head like some weird anime shit. You fart your panties. Oh, it's so weird, dude. He followed you out to the elevator and then patted your head? As soon as those elevator doors open, you better punch him in the fucking gut and hit the emergency close button. I'm not playing with this. I gave him a forced hug as he walked me all the way to my dorm. Oh, God, I hate it. You need to say something, OP. Or I guess just cut him off completely and hope that nobody ever brings it up again. Fingers crossed. I never felt so happy to go into my room and finish math homework by myself. After all this, he started sitting next to me in class, but I gave him the cold shoulder the whole time. Yep, blocked IRL. I wish that instead of ignoring him and him thinking that I was just some bitch, that I would instead try to talk to him alone and tell him to never repeat that shit that he did with me to any other woman. I mean, I do agree with that, but it isn't worth beating yourself up over, OP. What's done is done, and hopefully you're a stronger person for it. Hopefully this dude didn't try it with any other girls, and if he did, then hopefully that next girl kicked him right in the dick, or something like that. At least, you know, make it a lesson instead of just a shitty experience. I think it was a lot crappier for you than it was for him, honestly. He didn't seem to be affected by much of this at all. Ending thoughts, I'm still gay. Maybe pan, but I think it's just the compet, which is compulsory heterosexuality. I love women. I want a girlfriend, and I think that he was trying to change me into a definitely straight gamer girlfriend. Sorry that this is so long. So much shit happened, and there's still some stuff that I left out. Hopefully, this is the only post that I ever make in this subreddit. Thank you for having me, and thank you for reading it if you made it this far. It is a lesson hard learned, OP. There are a lot of friends out there that are not worth having. Hopefully you've learned that it's okay to let friends go. The second that they start saying some weird shit, talking about things that are not normally acceptable to talk about, it needs to be either addressed or you need to walk away from that person as soon as possible, lest they trap you into a very weird scenario like what happened here. I am super grateful that you got out of it okay. This dude might have escalated things if you kind of just continued to be coy and passive, and then he just, whatever, hops on the bed next to you, or I don't know. It could have gone so horribly, so I'm glad that you pushed back finally when you did. In my estimation, you needed to push back a lot sooner, but at 18 years old, I know that's a difficult thing to do. Now is the time for recovery. It's time to go home, reflect on all that happened, and definitely take a hot shower, burn those fucking clothes. It's also not too late to talk to this guy about it. I don't care if it's 5 years later. Show him this post. Tell him that the thing he did made you uncomfortable. And hopefully, you know, you could get an apology out of it or something like that. If you still even like know his name or find his Facebook or whatever. I don't care if it's 50 years down the road. If it makes you feel a certain type of way, you should feel free to address it, honestly. I hope that this post was able to help you find some sort of peace, and I definitely do appreciate you for writing it. I did the best that I could to put myself into your shoes, but I feel like there's a lot of backstory here. I'm not sure why you continue to put your own emotions aside in favor of somebody else's well-being, but that's not the way to go through life. Like I said, don't live life in the back seat of your own car. It just ain't worth it. You know, take control. Grab the steering wheel. This is your life. Do exactly as you please with it. And that probably includes not hanging out with creepy dudes. It's okay. Leave him behind. He'll feel sad. Who fucking cares? At least I feel happy. And really, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Whew. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, I hope that you like, comment, and or subscribe. Maybe share the video around if you should like. That'd be pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? We've also got links down in the description as always. Plugs, playlists, podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you at. I'm also there, probably. Just Google it. Go ahead, look it up. We got all kinds of social medias as well. Twitter, Discord, Facebook, also Twitch, where I live streamed this whole thing. And then we played some video games after. It was pretty cool. Did you miss it? Don't miss the next one. Link in the description, like I said. We've also got my Patreon down there, my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons, whom I would like to thank very much, as I do every episode. Thank you! Darth Luscious, Harley Owen, Robert Waits, Camille Sarah, Chase with Blue Kraken, Malama Man, Alexis Smith, Broken Logic, Captain Clown Jerry, Destiny Piper, Esteban, For Old Lang Syne, Okay Steve, PCP, Silent Robber, Wire.P and Jerry, 211 Jerry, the two Jerrys, a very tired Jerry. It's alright, drink some coffee, you'll be good. Justy Jargonia Jerry, Aaron Jerry, Aspen XO, Assassin Pub Jerry, Bang Bang, Aurora Wildheart, Grizzly, Baby Jerry, Bailey Joy, Bearded Jerry, Bitch Gremlin, Blade Hero, Blip Blip Jerry, Catholic Jerry, Commander J Tank, Comrade Movie, Confederate Jew, Dennis Dayton, Dr. Larks, Duck. I like that. Merchant Jewel, Aerodera, East Bars, Frozen Over Studio, Fire Drake, Gypsy, Hadrian BR, I'm Slim Jerry, I'm the real Jerry, Irish Pirate, Soul Leprechaun below decks, twist that, or a stowaway Jerry. Either way, just let him stay, he's good. Irradiated Jim, Itchy Nuts, just smash it, bro. A pimp named J Chris, JM Coon, Jerry Kitsune, the original Jerry, Jerry Blacktail, Jerry Nice, Jerry Evil, Jerry the Outlaw of the Trucker, Jerry Beans, John Hero, John Jerry, Jingleheimer Schmidt. You're not gonna believe this. That is my fucking name too, right? Kira, Conrad Eggy, Crewhee, Legitimate Girth, Miss Monday, Lord Jerryo, like and subscribe, Lady Dix, the next to last Jerry Bender, because I have anxiety. Oh God, it's the last Airbender reference. All right, you doing the thing. Respect. Marble Naval, Melgar the Destroyer, Metal Facta, Needless King 89. Not another Jerry, but he is though. Nightmare Jerry, Paragon Soul, Phantom of the Pines, Jerrykins and Jerry Beth, Queens, Quaaludes, and Quagmires, Ramtide, Lacrimate, Redwin, Rose Jerry Miller, T.S. of Kirby, Sarita the Lolita, Satori, Sassy Octopus, Scarlet's Coven, Sergeant Gay Cop, Bringer of the Law, Silo Whip, Stephanie Gunner, Sign After Boomstick, Brilliant Tomato, Tapioca Blue, Tato Fair, 10-Ton Monster, the Italian Greyhound Dino, the Littlest Who, the One True Fusky, Kick Jerry, trying to find another mom to get back to the real world. You probably don't want to blow into that balloon, not. Unbusy Bee, V3 Prime, Vanguard Angel, Viking Jerry, Void, version 3, because Red keeps killing me in Battle Brothers. Yeah, on the Twitch stream. But I mean, I only killed you twice, so buck up. Wire has died 3 times so far. We're on Wire version 4. So I don't want to hear any complaints. I'm doing the best I can to keep people alive. Wiki Tech, Will Mag, Zephyr Gargoyle, or Clay. It's Jerry time. Holds ReddX Morpher. Self-reflection. One leg Jerry's leg was stolen by Pissant. Oh my God, was it a cybernetic leg? I would miss it too. A normal Jerry, Admiral T-Tank, Emerald, another stupid hipster, Atomic Jerryzilla, Breakroad, a Tall Army, Bamscoon, Bartender Kelia, Blueberry and Apple Pie, Broken Spine Horseradish, the original different Jerry, Cake Jerry, California Jerry Girl, Shepherd 7 Lock, Chicago the Panda, Welcome to the Fold, Cody, secretly a Jerry operative. It happens, I guess. Princess Furry Warrior Woo Jerry, Crypt Titties, D Crazy, aka STI Jerry, The Fawn Jerry, Defter Tuna, Dopamine Dane Jerry's, Dwarfy Dude, Dose of Alpha, He Cannot, Holy Berry Jerry, Jace Christensen, Janitor Jerry made it across the Finland, and only lost a handful of baubles paying Vladimir. Godspeed, comrade. Jeffrey, Gerald of Rivia, Jerry and Tom versus Happy New Year's, we have the apocalypse, Jerry the Sussy Baka, Jerry's mom has got it going on. Check out that mustache on Jerry Old Rivera, Jerry Roxas, Jerry Role Playing Game, Judge Jerry and Executioner, Keaton Tails, Kid Marvelous, Kids Kid, Life of Guardian, Lillian Woods, Lucian Lovecraft, Machia, CD, maybe next time, might be the end for Iwari. Don't do it. Hey, don't you do it. Milk Figure, Miss Duchess, not a Viper, not Invisible Angel. Oh, it's time. It's Jerry time. Raptor Art, Roxanne Wolf Simp, Jerry, aka Don Breaker Drake, Saints Blessing, she's my Jerry Pie, Snary, that's Snom Jerry.
Snowman, what is best in life? To crush your neckbeards, to put their feet to Jesus, hear the lamentation of their body pillows.
It's so good. Spooky the Rogue, Spook Be Scary, Jerry Ton, Techno Dubs, the original Jerry, not Third Stuff, to Infinite Jerry and beyond. Definitely. We on the way, for reals. Unkale, Underwater Movies, Unfortunate Jerry, Screaming, Nookie's latest magical girl transformation, make it stop! Venom Jerry, throws 2-liter Mountain Dew, grow my neckbeard, grow! Neckbeard. It's Jerry time! Holds ReddX Morpher. Hygiene! It's Jerry time! Holds ReddX Morpher. Humility! Both important. And thank you to my $1 patrons as well, of course. Thank you, as always, to my Jerrys, my not Jerrys alike. Oh, so lovely to have you all on board, helping to pay for the thumbnails, the editor, all the other crazy stuff that I want to do with this channel and expand the brand. So if you can join them in supporting, that's huge. But if you can't do it, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you'll come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there. Wash your hands, but also take some time out. Do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe like watching some more ReddX videos. Do it. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one, and until then, bye-bye.